answer is why I choose this journal, because I really like this journal because I like really interesting for me to the title, and I think this title the same condition in Indonesia right now.
I'm interested on the journal that I chose because it defines political socialization and political culture in the youth of South Brazil, which can be also a great comparison and reference to the youth politics.
Okay, why I choose this journal because the journal that I read refers to topic that discuss political leadership, and if there are many discussion or certain topic.
Why I choose the journal is because the journal is very interesting, and the journal is explore Australian media coverage of Julia Gillard's leadership.
I acknowledge from the youth of South Brazil uses internet as a political culture as their construction process, how on the young citizens' attitudes and behavior on politics and technologies, and also lots of information about political socialization and political parties in the youth of South Brazil.
So the answer number 2, I get about how political in election they use social media and find the votes in the other people.
There are so many episodes. I know more about Julia Gillard, who at the time was named Australia's first female Prime Minister in the summer of 2013, and also this journal explore these two important moments in Australian politics and history. First, that media framing must be understood within the long history of Australian political culture. Second, the modern mindset in 2013 was enabled in significant part by her return to traditional female type for roles when she was removed from power.
Yeah, that interest to action, speech, behavior of political figure informed by personal political channels located in a particular culture and institutions. For example, discursive instruction and then response to event or performance in times of crisis, ideological performance, and performance of politicized to the media.
This journal places framing gender in two contexts. There are the more general gender context expectation of the double bond that all women leaders face, and more specific challenge for Australian women leaders.
Okay, I really like this journal because political Indonesia, I think is very smart. Why? Because they choosing social media, and they want to get the votes to other community. And the first is trust, and the second is the support to other people like generation millennial, especially because generation in millennial right now to spend the time to using social media.
I like it because the journal when I read a board discussion of politics in a country, to be more specific, located in UK.
What I like on the journal that I chose is that not only it explains about political culture on the youth of South Brazil, but it also had their own beliefs, their own tradition, their own history in their political culture, and yet they also had participated and support their own norms and values and in their political culture, in their political youth culture. What I'm still into minds about this is that the youth of South Brazil had their own historical characteristic factors which influence them on their values and beliefs to develop their political personalities and behavior. So what if this factor can make the youth around the world develop and grow their political personality and behavior through their own morals, values, and beliefs? This will change their the youth perspective on politics through internet and their own culture around the world.
And my question is, does the fact this gender narrative really help support it? So Australia has a clean political and social.
In the journal, I read there a debate between Gordon Brown, Blake, David Cameron, Gillian Duffy affair. What was anxiety in old and new political discourse is in the culture and provide discourse realities. And Gordon process on conservative discourse. My question is how to combine the two to make the political discourse that is developed to be balanced. In this case, it might make the political more stable.
After the reading this journal, I think the question after the reading is can the general millennial the filter information they use social media, because there's too many facts in social media, especially political Indonesia and political service. So I hope can social millennial can get the filter the information and from political service, because the political service they want to get the trust and to get to support political service, because they want to win these votes. I think this journal is really recommended. Why? Because when I read this journal, I get too many points in this journal. But I really recommend when you want to research in journal to get information. I really recommend that. So
I highly recommend this journal because in additional to many interesting discussion, this can also be referenced to for knowledge about political science in a country.
Of course, because this journal discusses the treatment of gender in the hand of the media, it must be understood in two contexts, intertwined in Australia political culture. First, the journal saw the common Western double bond override media coverage of women leader. Second, and more prophetically, the journal saw the Australia inclusive in youth.
Will I recommend this journal that I chose? Well, yes, definitely, absolutely. Why? Because this journal that I chose can make others and the youth's perspective about politics through internet and their own political culture. It will make them understand, grow their trust and experience on the political socialization in youth of South Brazil, which can be a great reference to. This can be a great reference.
Bruh.